class.
Hello.
I'm a little bit feel kind of nervous because this is my first time present something in front of many students, but I can enjoy that. So please enjoy yourself my presentation. And can you imagine the world without the electricity?
No.
No, not at all. Yes. There's some picture. This is electricity. Yes, we cannot see that. And maybe if you have some metal chopstick and put it sting it, you can feel some electricity, but I don't recommend that. And with electricity, those big metropolitan cities, they have really many skyscrapers, and it is very bright. But without electricity, we can't live those kind of life at all. And I think electricity, without electricity, the world would be a very different place, because actually this economy is possible because of electricity. Yeah. And if there is no electricity, we cannot consume something, or we cannot buy something, because manufacturers need a huge amount of electricity. So there's the economy would be very low status without electricity. So the person who I really feel interesting is Michael Farraday. He's a physicist, and many students really hate physics or mathematics, but I won't tell you about very scientific stuff, but I will tell you some kind of his humanity, his personality, so you don't have to worry about that. And here's a picture of his face, and actually the 20 pounds in British, his face is on every bill. So it means many British people really like him because of his personality and his achievements. So I will first talk. He overcame hardships, poverty, and lack of education with his great diligence. Very hardworking person. And secondly, he was modest and humble about his huge achievements. This is really maybe the most important thing about his personality. And finally, I will talk about his achievement and one famous anecdote. It is not inconsistent, right? But while I'm talking about his achievement, I can say something related to his great diligence in his achievement. And we can think he was really modest and humble while we are listening to that famous anecdote of him. So I will start with the briefing. He overcame hardships with his great diligence. Actually, Michael Farraday was the son of a blacksmith. You know blacksmith? Very long time ago, we made some metal stuff or tools in a blacksmith. Blacksmith. Yeah. So people who engage in blacksmith is very laborious job, and they was commonly very poor. So he was poor because he was born in a very poor family, and because of that, he cannot go to school at all. Yeah. And after he grew up to 14, he apprenticed in binary. Binary is the place you make a book. Yeah, binary. So he was spend a lot of time just working so hard because he had to earn some money. So there's no time to study. But because in binary, you have a lot of books. So Michael Faraday was really interested and highly impressed about those books, and many customers who didn't take back their books early, and he can read the books in the very dark corner of the binary. So that's the reason why he first feels some interesting about physics. And because he was really famous for his diligence, one famous researcher in Britain and that day offered him a job as an assistant. So there was a really famous scientist, and he offered him, "Oh, would you like to help my study, my researches?" Because he trusted him because of his diligence. And after that, because he was so hardworking, she became the higher position. Like first he was an assistant, and then he became a director, and he accomplished many experimental researches, and that's because he was a very diligent guy. I'll move to the next idea. And he was modest and humble about his huge achievements. And I have a question. Have you ever been to Britain?
Yes. No.
No. Yes. Yes. No?
No.
Okay, no. So, two of you have already visited Britain. And have you ever seen this building in London? Yes. Leticia, could you please tell me what is this building, or you already forgot?
It's the church?
Yes, church. This is Westminster Abbey. Yes, yes, cathedral. Cathedral, right. So kind of a religious place. Why I am talking about this building is there's one more physicist, Isaac Newton. He's really famous, and Isaac Newton was buried at Westminster Abbey. And after that, if some British people have a chance to be buried at this place, it is really high honor for them. And because he achieved so many things in physics, many people want for him to be buried at this place, but he rejected it because he always said, "Oh, I'm not deserved. I don't deserve to be buried in this thing. I'm just a normal and modest person." So it is really amazing because his law, which is called Faraday's law, is really important thing at those times, and so I can say he's really modest. And here's another story. At that time, there was a queen, Queen Victoria, in those days, and she attempted to give him a knighthood. If you did some great job, maybe, and you are not a knight, the Queen of England have a right to give someone a knighthood. And also he attempted to give him a very luxurious house, but he all rejected it. Every time he says, "Oh, thank you for your kindness, but I'm not deserved. I'm just a normal and actually I'm not very highly educated, so sorry." So it was really sweet, and that's the reason why I admire him a lot. And next, finally, his achievements and one famous anecdote. I want to talk about his achievement. Briefly speaking, he made those weird apparatus to prove his ideas, and it was correct. So if we switch on or switch off, we can make some electricity. So that is very brief brief explanation for that.
Is it about a circuit?
Yes, this is electric circuit.
Okay.
Yes, yes, and this is actually the independent circuit, and it is not connected each other. But so here is a cell battery. Here is a battery, but in here, if we use this phenomenon, we can make electricity without electric cell, and that is really important nowadays. But with this, we cannot turn our light on, or we cannot turn our refrigerator on. So after years and years, like in 50 years, many engineers try hard to make some power plant or something. So in 50 years, Thomas Edison in America invented those electric power plant.
Generator?
Generator, right, generator. So anyway, I have to make a connection between this achievement and his humbleness, his humbleness, humbleness, because he have no knowledge about physics. He spent more time than any other researchers, and for this, he did same researches and same things more than 1,000 or 10,000, sometimes 50,000 times. Do it again and again. If he knew some physics, he could spend less time, maybe just 10 times or 20 times. But everything he knows is just a simple writing and simple reading and really simple calculations like plus minus something. He had no ideas about calculus, which we have to learn in university. So his diligence made that achievement. So I am really highly impressed about that. And second, here's one famous anecdote, and his name is James Clerk Maxwell. And when Faraday was really old, like in his 60s or 70s, he was like a baby student, just 20 or early 20s at that time. And those two people, Maxwell and Faraday, are totally different person, because he was born in really rich family in Scottish, so he's a Scottish scientist, and she's freaking genius in mathematics. She knows so many things about mathematics, a kind of Sheldon in Big Bang Theory or something. And but Faraday, he's not familiar with calculus, so the way he have to imagine about electricity or magnetism. He made this kind of concept. He made some pictures about that because he are not familiar with calculus. But in so I have to say this first. At that time, there's no Excel, there's no spreadsheet, there's no computers. So every time after Faraday experimented something, he always write down something. So in his house, there are a huge bundles of books in his room, maybe 500 or 700 about records, because there's no Microsoft Office at that time. So one day, Maxwell visited his house and asked, can I read some very valuable recordings about your experiment? And Faraday was sure, why not? After he saw that, he was astonished, because in his eyes everything goes like this. And actually this is Maxwell's equation, and this third one is Faraday's law. Oops. And he felt a kind of admiration because, oh, I am nothing. I know a lot of things about mathematics and physics, but I have nothing. I've done nothing. But this guy, despite his very low level of education, he achieved very really huge things. But and Farraday was very good student. Even he was 60 years old, very old, elderly. He was very elderly man. But because he wanted to know about this, and he asked something about, oh, what is this? Oh, what is this symbol? Or oh, what is this calculus? What is this? It like a snake. He asked everything, but because Maxwell really admired him and really admired him, he taught him again and again. So I think that is the most beautiful anecdote in his history of science. And every time I recall this anecdote, I feel some kind of hot things in my eyes because I was so moved. Yes, thank you, teacher. So I talk about his hardship, but he overcame it. Secondly, he was really humble and modest after his big achievement. And finally, I explained some his achievement and anecdote. Thank you for listening.